Welcome to Cozy Snowflake Art. I'm Sandy, and today we are going to bring a little bit of the non-snowy outside weather inside by creating these fun, frosty little snowflake pictures with some watercolors. You should have already picked up your Take-and-Make bag that'll have all the supplies that you need to do this project. Let's have some fun. In your Take-and-Make bag, you're going to find 2 pieces of cardstock, a white crayon, some paints, and a bag of salt. You will need some water from your kitchen sink, so if you want to pour, for me, I'm using 2 glasses of water, and I'm doing that because we need a clean glass and then we need a glass to rinse our paintbrush between colors. So we've got these things handy. We'll set the salt aside for now, and we only need 1 piece of cardstock. So the first thing we want to do is take our white crayon, and this is going to be the trickiest part of the project simply because it's difficult to see a white crayon on a white piece of paper. What we're doing is called a resist technique, in this case crayon resist. And what that means is we're going to draw on our paper with crayon, and then we're going to paint over it, and the paint is going to resist going in the area where the crayon is. So in this case, we're drawing snowflakes, and snowflakes are all different, so don't worry about making them perfect or making them all the same. But one thing I did find when I was drawing on my sample is the wider you can make your crayon marks, the more white is going to show through the paint. So you can make snowflakes, just make crosses and X's. You can take and put little swirls on the end. However you want to make snowflakes, we can do that. So you'll take your crayon and just start, and if you have to go over it a couple of times, and it's going, and then make an X, and then make another X on top of that. And again, this is really super hard to see on camera, but if you lift your paper up and kind of tilt it, you can see where your crayon marks are. And if you need to go over them some more, you can do that. And you can make legs on the ends of your sticks for your crosses. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can make swirls on here if you wanted to make swirls. Just fill up your paper, make them different sizes, and just keep marking with your crayon. Make your snowflakes. I'm putting little swirls on the end of my snowflakes. And again, if you can't really tell where you've been, you can lift your paper and you can kind of see the crayon. And you just keep doing that until you fill your paper. All right, I'm gonna make this one really big. And I just keep going over. And just to show you, so here's some swirls. All right, the next thing we want to do once you're satisfied, and you want to make sure that you've got as much crayon on your paper as you think you're going to want, because once you get your paint on there, it's going to be pretty difficult until it dries to go back over it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paintbrush out of our paint, and we're going to get the cardstock wet. And the reason that we're doing that, it just seems like the paint goes on better that way. You don't have to scrub it as hard. So just take your water, and even doing this, you'll be able to see some of your snowflakes pop through. So just get your cardstock wet. Just like that. And if when you're working with it with your paint, you can always add more water at that time as well. So I'm just going to start with this area with my clear, clean water, get my cardstock wet, and then I'm going to pick a color. And you can use multiple colors for this. You can do all one color, whatever you like best. So I'm going to take my purple color here and I'm going to get it wet. And I might have to put a little bit of, get it good and wet. And then just start painting on there. And you can start to see where my snowflake was drawn. And so if you want it darker, add a little more paint on there. And you can keep going. And like I said, rinse your brush out between colors. And if you want to do a blue or whatever color, again, you can make it all one color. You can mix your colors. And just, there's no rhyme or reason. You can just kind of dabble it on. Change colors wherever you want to change colors. But as you start putting your color down, you're going to see where you drew your snowflakes or your swirls or whatever you draw on here. And again, if the paper feels too dry, take your clean water. Oops, still had some blue on my brush, but that's okay. Just keep adding water, and I'm actually pulling the blue out of that paint right there, but that's okay. We'll just add some more water onto this dry part of the paper. And then I'm going to change colors one more time, just for fun. And see you can see more snowflakes popping up. And just continue this until you've got your page covered. And it's okay if your colors mix. That's part of the fun of watercolor. And once you've got the watercolor paint on the paper like you want it, that's when you're going to take your salt, and you want to make sure that wherever you sprinkle your salt, there's a little bit of water on there. So if it looks like your paper's kind of dry, you can add some more of the clear water. But we're just going to, at that point, just take a little bit of the salt, sprinkle it on, sprinkle it in your wet spots, and then we'll let it dry. And once that dries, you'll have little areas on your painting that are, they look kind of frosty, like frost is hit around your snowflakes, and that's what your salt will do. So you'll leave that on there. You see how it's kind of pulling the water out of this painting and making that little frosty spot. And then once it's dry, you can just brush the salt off your painting. And that is our snowflake art, Cozy Snowflake Art. Have fun, guys. Thanks for joining us today for Cozy Snowflake Art. I hope you enjoyed the project. We'd love to see any video or pictures of you doing this project, and you can share them with us at the email address coming across the screen now. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.